Archangel Michael says, "Beloved child of the Most High, hear my voice with great attentiveness in this hour. For there is a deception being woven quietly around your path, a subtle detour dressed in the clothing of opportunity, a glittering offer that seems to align perfectly with your desires, but carries within it the seeds of distraction and delay. And I have been sent by the Lord to warn you, because I see your heart striving, praying, and reaching for breakthrough. Yet I also see the enemies, hand-crafting illusions meant to lure you away from your true assignment. And though this opportunity appears golden, filled with promises of advancement, recognition, and even relief from the burdens you have been carrying, I urge you to pause, to discern, and to seek heaven's wisdom before stepping forward. For not every open door has been opened by God, and not every voice calling you forward is from the throne of grace. And I see how weary you have grown, how the delays and disappointments of this season have tempted you to grasp at anything that looks like progress. But child, the Father's plans for you are precise and perfect, and His timing does not require you to compromise your peace, your principles, or your destiny. And I'm here to tell you that what is before you now, this path that appears so easy and attractive, is in truth a diversion set in place to drain your energy, to consume your focus, and to entangle your spirit in obligations that are not yours. To carry, and I know the enemy's tactics well, for I have warred against them on your behalf countless times, and I can see the spiritual snares hidden beneath the surface of this offer, subtle agreements and unseen attachments that will weigh you down and cloud your vision if you step into them unaware. And beloved, I say this not to frighten you, but to awaken you, for I see the greater plans God has prepared for you, plans so vast and glorious that the enemy trembles at the thought of you, walking in their fullness. And that is why he has rushed to place before you a counterfeit, a near-perfect imitation meant to appear as a shortcut to your prayers. But I assure you, the Father's blessings never require manipulation, fear, or hurried decisions. They flow effortlessly at the appointed time, bringing with them peace that surpasses all understanding and alignment that no man or circumstance can disrupt. And I call you now to examine your spirit carefully, to listen not with your natural ears, but with the discernment of the Holy Spirit. For there will be signs even now that this opportunity does not carry the fragrance of heaven. Perhaps a lack of peace deep within, a quiet unease that stirs when you consider saying yes, or doors that seem forced open rather than graced with favor. And these are not coincidences, but the Spirit's gentle alerts guiding you to stand still, to wait, and to trust. And I remind you, beloved, that your destiny is far too sacred to be entangled in pursuits that will only delay your arrival at the place God has prepared. And though saying no may seem difficult, though it may feel like turning away from something good, I assure you that the good is often the enemy of the great, and heaven's greatness cannot be rushed, replicated, or replaced. And as you quiet your soul and resist the pressure to act hastily, you will feel my presence surrounding you like a shield, my sword raised to cut away every lie and illusion, and my voice whispering clarity where confusion has tried to reign. For you are not alone in this decision, and I have been commanded to stand guard over your destiny, to fight off every spiritual entrapment, and to ensure that you walk only in paths ordained by the Father. And so hear me again, child of God, pause and pray, discern and wait for the true door, the one designed for your elevation and breakthrough, is approaching even now, and will be marked not by strain or striving, but by supernatural ease, unmistakable peace, and divine confirmation that leaves no room for doubt. And I declare over you that every counterfeit will be exposed. Every false opportunity will crumble before your eyes, and only what is sent by the hand of God will remain standing. For the Lord is not just protecting you from loss, but positioning you for something far greater. A blessing so weighty and holy that no enemy can imitate it, delay it, or destroy it. Archangel Michael says, "Beloved, as I continue to speak into the quiet corners of your soul, feel the weight of heaven's concern for you in this hour. For what lies before you is not simply a decision of the natural, but a crossroads in the spirit where the wrong step could entangle you in battles you were never meant to fight. And I see how alluring this so-called opportunity appears to your weary eyes. How perfectly timed it seems. How much it promises to resolve. How it whispers relief to the burdens you have carried. But I also see the hidden strings, the invisible chains that will begin to wrap around your destiny the moment you say yes without discernment. For the enemy does not always come with obvious threats, but with enticing counterfeits clothed in familiarity and false favor. And I tell you this because I have watched as countless souls have been drawn into detours by doors that were not of God. Doors that glittered like gold, yet led into cycles of striving, confusion, and spiritual fatigue. And I will not allow that for you. Beloved, for your calling is too high, your purpose too sacred, and the time too urgent for your feet to wander down paths of distraction. And so I stand now at the threshold of this moment, my sword of light raised, cutting through every lie, every manipulation, every false narrative that has been sent to convince you that this is from the hand of God. And I tell you, child, you will know the truth by the fruit. For any door that demands you compromise your peace, abandon your convictions, or move ahead in fear is not a door opened by the Most High. And though your heart longs to move forward, to escape the waiting, to seize what appears to be progress, remember that what God has planned for you will not require you to rush, to grasp, or to force. His blessings arrive, clothed in His peace, carried by His Spirit, and they do not leave you wrestling with unease or confusion. And beloved, I see how the enemy has even tried to use your prayers as a weapon against you, twisting your own petitions into pressure, whispering lies that this is your only chance, your only exit from the waiting season. But I declare over you now that the God who holds your future does not need to pressure or manipulate you to act, for His gifts are perfect and His timing flawless. And as you hold your position, resisting the urge to move without clarity, you will begin to feel the stirring of truth deep within, the gentle tug of the Spirit, guiding you back to stillness, back to trust, back to the assurance that you do not need to chase what heaven has already assigned to you. And I remind you now, child of God, that the counterfeit often comes before the true blessing as a final test of faith, a moment to see whether you will settle for what appears good or stand firm for what is truly God. And as I speak these words over you, feel the urgency not as fear, but as a shield of divine protection. For I am standing in this unseen realm, waging war against every spirit of confusion and every false alignment trying to weave itself into your destiny. And I declare that your eyes will be opened, your spirit awakened, and your steps secured in the path of righteousness. And know this, beloved, the door you are waiting for is already being fashioned in the courts of heaven. And when it opens, it will bring confirmation so undeniable, peace so profound, and favor so overwhelming that you will know it could only be the hand of Almighty God. And until that moment comes, remain steadfast, remain discerning, and remain anchored in my voice. For I have been sent to guard you, to guide you, and to ensure that no counterfeit blessing, no spiritual trap, and no enemy deception can derail the glorious plans written over your life. And as you choose obedience over impulse, trust over fear, and faith over sight, you will see the wisdom of heaven unfold before you. and what once felt like delay will be revealed as divine protection, and what seemed like loss will be replaced with supernatural gain. For the Father does not withhold from his children, but preserves the very best for those who wait upon him. Archangel Michael says, "Beloved warrior of light, as I remain stationed at the gates of your destiny, with my sword of flame and my wings stretched wide to shield you, hear me now with a heart unclouded by fear or doubt, for the hour is critical, and heaven's warning comes not to weigh you down, but to awaken the fullness of discernment within you. For the adversary has crafted this detour with precision, designing it to resemble the answers you have been pleading for, camouflaging it as the very breakthrough your weary soul has longed to see. Yet I tell you with unwavering authority that it is a counterfeit, a diversion meant to strip you of your divine momentum, to entangle you in webs of distraction and compromise. And I see how hard you have labored in this season, how your prayers have risen like incense day and night, and how the silence of heaven has tested your resolve. But child, know this. The Father's silence was never abandonment. It was preparation, and in that quiet he has been fortifying your spirit, strengthening your foundations so that you would stand unmoved when presented with choices that test the depth of your faith and the clarity of your vision. And now this opportunity has arrived, shimmering with the appeal of progress and relief. But deep within your spirit, if you listen closely, there's an unease, a whisper of caution that does not align with the peace of God. For the blessings of the Almighty come without toil, without unrest, and without the subtle sense of compromise that you feel tugging at your conscience even now. And I warn you with the love and urgency of one who has seen the enemy's schemes 1,000 times over. This door is not from the hand of your Father, but from the one who masquerades as an angel of light, hoping to lure you off the narrow path with promises of quick success and easy answers. And as you consider what lies before you, remember that the enemy does not tempt with the obviously evil, but with the almost good, weaving lies so close to truth that only a spirit fully anchored in God can distinguish the counterfeit from the divine. And that is why I have come to you in this hour, to cut through the fog of confusion, to expose the hidden motives and unseen snares waiting beyond this so-called opportunity. And I declare to you now, beloved, that no matter how urgent this offer feels, no matter how much it promises to ease your burdens or advance your dreams, it will not bring you the peace you seek, for it is not heaven sent. And I see even now the ripple effect of this decision in the spirit, the entanglements, the weariness, and the delay it will cause if you step into it without discernment. And I refuse to let your destiny be compromised by an assignment that was never yours to carry. So, I stand here as a sentinel, as a messenger, and as a warrior of the Most High, commanding every force of darkness to release its hold over your mind and declaring divine clarity over your spirit so that you will see with the eyes of heaven and move only as the Spirit leads. For what awaits you, if you remain steadfast, is a blessing so vast, so precise, and so undeniably orchestrated by God that no counterfeit can rival it. And I tell you this with certainty. When the true door opens, you will not feel pressured or confused. You will feel the supernatural peace of the Almighty settling over you like a gentle rain. You will see signs and confirmations aligning so perfectly that no doubt will remain, and you will know without question that it is your appointed time. And so I urge you, beloved, hold your position, guard your heart, and remain anchored in prayer, for the enemy's urgency is not your urgency, and the Father's timing is never late, but always perfect. And as you wait, I will continue to stand watch, to war on your behalf in the unseen realm, and to ensure that every false alignment and every spiritual decoy is exposed and dismantled before it can touch your life. And as you walk forward in obedience and trust, you will find that what once seemed like delay was divine protection. And the reward for your steadfastness will far outweigh anything you thought you lost. For your destiny is guarded by heaven, and your steps are ordered by the King of Kings. Archangel Michael says, "Beloved child of the eternal King, now lean in with all your heart and let these final words saturate your soul like holy fire. For this is not merely a warning, but a divine unveiling of the greater plans the Father has destined for you. And as I stand in the unseen realm, sword drawn and wings ablaze with the light of heaven, I can see with perfect clarity the enemy's desperation to divert you at this pivotal hour, for he knows the magnitude of what lies ahead if you remain steadfast. He knows the chains that will break, the lives that will be touched, and the generational blessings that will flow from your obedience. And that is why he has cloaked this detour in the guise of opportunity, hoping to deceive you into stepping outside the perfect alignment of heaven's timeline. But hear me now as I declare with unwavering authority. You are not called to chase what glitters, to grasp what demands your compromise, or to settle for what arrives through manipulation and urgency. For the blessings of your God are never wrapped in confusion or fear. They are sealed with peace, confirmed by the Spirit, and marked by a favor that requires no striving. And though this counterfeit before you may promise progress, relief, or recognition, I tell you it is an imitation designed to tether your spirit to cycles of distraction and delay, and I will not allow it. For your destiny is too weighty, your assignment too holy, and your time too precious to be squandered on paths never authored by the Almighty. And as you stand now at this spiritual crossroads, feel my presence surrounding you like a fortress, my light exposing every hidden agenda, and my voice cutting through every lie with the sword of truth. For I have been commanded to shield you, to guide you, and to ensure that your feet remain firmly planted on the narrow way that leads to life. And I see the anguish of your waiting season, the prayers that have felt unanswered, the tears shed in the quiet, and I assure you they were never in vain. For every moment of delay was a divine incubation where heaven was preparing you, refining you, and strengthening your discernment, so that you would recognize the true door when it swings open. And beloved, that door is coming, and it will not require you to sacrifice your peace or your values, for it will come clothed in divine confirmation, surrounded by supernatural favor, and aligned so perfectly that you will know with absolute certainty that it is the appointed time of the Lord. And until then, I urge you to wait, to listen, and to trust, for waiting is not weakness. It is warfare. And in your stillness, you are allowing heaven's armies to finish the battles you cannot see. And even now, I am warring on your behalf, dismantling every trap, severing every false alignment, and scattering every spirit of confusion that has tried to cloud your vision. And I declare over you this day that no weapon formed against your destiny shall prosper, no counterfeit blessing shall take root, and no enemy scheme shall derail the plans written in the scrolls of heaven with your name upon them. For you are chosen, anointed, and appointed for such a time as this. And as you step forward in faith, rejecting what is not of God, you will find that the true blessings released into your life will arrive not through force or fear, but through the quiet confidence of one who knows they are loved by the King of Kings. And you will see with your own eyes that the waiting was worth it, for the doors the Father is opening for you will be so wide, so radiant, and so filled with His presence that you will weep in awe, knowing that His plans far exceeded anything you could have dreamed or imagined. And so, I charge you now as heaven's messenger. Stay the course, hold your ground, and refuse to settle for less than what God has prepared. For the glory that is coming will not only redeem your waiting, but will crown you with joy. Unspeakable, peace unshakable, and favor unstoppable. And I promise you, child of the Most High, you will not miss what is yours. You will not lose what heaven has written for you, and you will not be late to your divine appointment. For your steps are ordered, your future secured, and your life hidden in the everlasting arms of the Almighty. And with these words, I seal this message over you in the name of the one who is, who was, and who is to come. And I command every counterfeit door to close, every false opportunity to crumble, and every demonic assignment to fall powerless at your feet. For your destiny is guarded, your assignment protected, and your path illuminated by the light of heaven itself.